magic makers, and welcome back to the Metaphysical Apothecary. We are your hosts, Shannon and Megan.
Hi, everyone.
Also known as the Scorpio Sisters, here to explore the mysterious, the magical, and the arcane.
There have been studies done that people who believe in bad luck actually experience it more often than people who don't.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't want to focus on these things and we don't want to focus on bad luck, how can they be useful in our practice? So, for instance, the broken mirror. This could be really interesting to use in your magical practice because a lot of us use mirrors to scry. We use it as part of shadow work, as visualization. We view them as portals. A lot of water-based magic utilizes mirrors. So if you break your mirror, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this now? Well, you can kind of view it as being a shattered doorway or a shattered portal into the self, or even a shattered version of your own spirit or psyche, because the water is very tied to our emotions and our spirit. What you can do is very carefully glue that mirror back together and either use glue that has a gold tint to it or paint it the cracks gold when you're finished and sort of lovingly reassemble this and place it somewhere where you can look into it often. Now, your image will be fragmented in that mirror from now on, but that's okay. Because you're not one single cohesive piece. There are many facets to you. And mending something with gold is a Japanese tradition called kintsugi, where the mended version is burnished with gold. The cracks are burnished with gold to demonstrate how something that has been broken and put back together can be more beautiful and interesting than the original.
Mm-hmm. Another way to use the mirror is to actually break it on purpose.
Yep.
So totally subverting the superstition of breaking a mirror and inviting 7 years of bad luck, especially if you think that the mirror itself is being used as a portal and it's a portal to things that you did not invite in or you don't want invited in. You can very easily do a working where you make the portal inoperable and then shatter it. So that way there's no way for it to be a portal anymore. The door no longer open. It might be viewable from the other side and from your side to that side, but it's no longer a smooth transition from one place to your place.
Right.
It's also could be used this way where you're trying to kick a habit maybe. And so you imbue the mirror with the habit that you're trying to kick or you're trying to get rid of, and you purposely break it. So you're shattering the mirror housing that habit.
Exactly. If you do decide to put it back together, you can color each piece a different color with alcohol inks, something translucent, so you can still kind of see the reflection, but you can make it like a stained glass piece and use it to scry. So assign a different meaning to each of those colors. And as the candlelight flickers on them, interpret the shadows and the way that they play over the different colors and what that means.
You can also make it into a mosaic.
Yeah.
So that way you're putting it into a piece of art that represents you or whatever subject matter you should choose within the mosaic. The art piece could be used to empower you if it is a piece about self-examination and reflection.
There are other things you can do as well. There's so much magic you can do with your shoes. So much magic you can do with your shoes. Please try to avoid cultural appropriation. We talk about shoes drawing bad luck or misfortune into your home. If they're placed in the wrong place, you can subvert that by actively placing things in your shoes or drawing things on the soles that draw in fortune, prosperity, abundance, good luck, happy things, carry you to joyous experiences. There are all kinds of intention that you can put behind these things. You can put slips of paper inside your shoes, especially if you wear insoles underneath that represent money, and that percussive, intentional stepping in those shoes can push that intention out into the world and draw in more prosperity. You can obviously draw all over the inside and outside of your shoes, all over them. You can make your shoes into a super sigil if you want to.
Yeah. I would still not want to put them on my bed, on my table, on my seat. It's going on the shoe bench or on the floor. The outside is dirty. I can't.
And I mean, there's no need to, right? There's no need to place them anywhere but the floor. The same thing goes for hats. Hats can be used to veil. They can be used as shields and wards against other people screwing around with your energy. You can use them as a way to kind of calm anxiety. If you put things inside them or sew things into them that help keep your mind alert, focused, and calm, those kinds of things. Your hats can also become their own kind of sigil, wearable sigil.
The hat was originally meant to help protect your head from the sun and the elements. So it's not hard to turn it into a warding or a sigil and a piece of armor that is meant to protect you from the outside elements.
Exactly. So it can also be a piece of armor to protect you from the spiritual elements.
Mm-hmm. I would still not want to put it on the table.
No. I mean, the original practical rules still apply to these things, right? But even when you're talking about ladders, you want to use every safety precaution you possibly can, but you can use any kind of a ladder, step ladder, a stool, anything like that. If you want to rise above something, if you want to shed something, if you want to climb out of a certain level of mood, if you want to reach something, you can take a mini journey on a ladder from where you are stuck to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. You can use the standing under or sitting under a ladder that is, again, safety-wise secure, and there's nothing hanging over your head or stored on top of it as a liminal space.
Yep.
It could be a great makeshift pyramid or triangular shaped place to meditate and reach higher consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a triangle pointing upwards. And if you're sitting underneath it with all safety precautions in place, that will actually allow for your consciousness to rise with the ladder and beyond.
Right. Especially if you use the ladder and you can place things on the rungs, especially if it's an A-frame ladder. Mm-hmm. Again, make sure that the braces are locked in place and everything, but you can place crystals or special items that will help focus your mind as your consciousness rises. And they can even be tools. You can really take the handyman magical thing to its nth degree and use hammers and paintbrushes and tape measures and think about the magical associations those things could have, place them on the rungs, and really just exercise that consciousness as you pull it up into the cosmos.
Mm-hmm. You can actually make them into altars as well. Take an old wooden ladder, A-frame ladder, and put planks of wood between the symmetrical rungs on either side and use each of those new shelvings as things that you are working on and the things that are elevating you towards higher consciousness, and you can store books on those things. Crystals, like Megan said, the top one could, or whichever one you deem to be the easiest to access, could be where you do or house your altar.
I mean, they make ladder shelves.
Mm-hmm. But there's nothing saying that you can't make your own if you happen to have an old ladder that is not safe to use in any other way.
Exactly.
Also, a bit of potentially baneful magic, but you could take a poppet or a item that represents someone else and put that poppet or that representation underneath the ladder. As long as part of your working is that you don't want them to be harmed in any way, shape, or form, but you're putting them underneath it for a reason. I mean, who's to say that you're right or wrong?
True.
Except for you and whoever you answer to.
Very true.
So you could use the superstition in your working, because why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Purse magic or bag magic. Again, there are so many magical things you can do with your bag. You can assign every single item that you carry around with yourself a magical association as well as a practical one. You can do knot magic with the strap if it's pliable enough. You can braid things onto the strap for that kind of knot magic. You can obviously draw or write or add things to the lining to make it a magical bag of holding that protects certain things, that protects your energy, that protects contents, that protects your prosperity. You can also use your bag as a mini altar space if you want to. If you need a traveling altar, designate one of the pockets to hold all of that stuff that you need to do a mini spell or to call the corners or honor your deity, in miniature.
And then you can have it store it always hovering just above the ground, so it's never on the floor. Or you can intentionally set it on the floor inside of a maybe attracting or drawing circle, so that way it attracts whatever you associate your purse or bag with. So if you associate it with carrying money, and you put it into a little circle just for it on the floor that is meant to attract and draw wealth and financial success to you, well, then it belongs on the floor.
Exactly. So that's all we have on our topic for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you'll join us again soon. In the meantime, you can follow us for more witchy wisdom, both here and on our blog. And you can also check out our original art on Society 6 for sacred decor and more. Thanks again for joining us. Go make some magic and live your best life.
Bye!